Good afternoon, Pool Player Nation. Welcome back to Orlando, Florida for continuing coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship presented by the APA, and our coverage brought to you by our friends at PoolDog.com. I'm your host, Jason Bowman, and I'm joined by Team USA Mosconi Cup Captain Double J, Jeremy Jones. Jeremy, the 128-player Open Division now in full swing here in Orlando. Every table in action, including our feature match here on the live stream.
Yeah, absolutely. These two guys got to follow a heck of a performance by the only lady in the Open event.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Francis played a real nice one there, and I expect a good one here from these two. They've already played a match this morning, so looking to get on with it.
All right, so let's take a quick look at the format for this U.S. Amateur Championship Open Division match. Of course, the Open Division is a double elimination race to 7. We'll see 5 games of 8-ball up to 8 games of 9-ball. The winner of the lag can opt to choose either the format or take the break. And our match here this afternoon is going to feature Jake Waymire of Arlington, Tennessee, versus former U.S. Amateur Champion Jason Richko of Trinity, Florida. Jason is our 2007 U.S. Amateur Champion. So the players are ready to get things started down in the pit. Let's take you down to the action and get this match officially underway. And we will see Jake Waymire with the break in the 8-ball set.
Yeah, Jake did win the lag. Immediately went to the breaking end. Jason has chosen 8-ball to start. Oh, some action on that 8-ball. More movement than I've seen the entire tournament. A dry break to open. Now, I've seen Jason at pretty much every U.S. Amateur that I've been at. I don't think he's played in all of them, but definitely from that area near strokers. So if not playing, goes down to sweat the action. Comments he's made to me, he's just trying to get the game back. Now with an open table, looks like he's choosing the stripes to get started. It's a funny thing in 8-ball. Sometimes that first shot, getting to that first shot can be awkward. But pay attention to it. And I think he's gotten himself in a little bit of a funny spot here. Maybe plays the 15-10 combination. I don't think he can get directly at the 10. Oh, playing the bank. Nice shot. Very nice. Looks like the 11 in the side's playable. Now, this is a shot that you can't put a lot of speed. Even just kind of stopping your cue ball can be tricky into that side. Not sure what he can do going forward.
This is another match on the one-loss side of the bracket, so one of these players will be exiting the tournament at the conclusion of this match. The other will move on.
Now, it looks like he can come back and forth between the 12 and 13. I would try and go all the way to get on the 13. If not, you have the 12 there. So catch a little kiss and now kind of cut off. I don't really see an offensive shot at all. I don't know. Again, when you're playing safe, it's a lot about the object balls and not so much about the cue ball and 8-ball. But here, up against it, I'm just trying to leave something long. Love to not leave the 5 in the side. I think he's cut him off that. We'll see Jake most likely play the 2-ball. And after this first shot, which is a tester, especially being the first shot of the match for Jake, These solids open up quite nice. Yeah, and pick off the 7 and 4, and then really everything's right there in the center of the table. Hard not to have tons of options. So the 7-4 maybe come up for the 6 on the side. And again, everything right there in the middle. Thought he'd kill the cue ball a little bit more, but maybe takes on that 6, a little stretched on the 4, kind of going away from everything as well. Again, he was kind of in this position a moment ago on the 4, so I'd probably stay away from it again. Awkwardly stretched and going away from everything. Shoot the 3, then knock the 4 in and come around. You can reach it from where the 3's at. Come around for the 1 in the side, then the 5 last. This is where you may change your plans a little bit. Go ahead and knock the 1 in. Then have the 4 come up for the 5. And you got to pay attention to the cue ball. It's going to have a little more movement. He's going to love that speed. Close enough to it. He doesn't have to really move the cue ball much. He can kill it and go the rail if he wants. I think that's one thing that's overlooked at times is understanding when you're close to the ball, you can really manipulate those angles and diminish them one way or another.
Jake Waymire on the board first after pocketing that 8 in the corner. 1-0 lead for him in this race to 7. While we've got a moment, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors.
And this is really going to help your game tremendously and truly put you to the next skill level. Hey guys, I'm Fernando Kohler, also known as Venom. I'm a professional pool trick shot artist, but also a league operator for APA in Las Vegas. There we go. Thank you. This one is using actually 10 balls. So what exactly is a tangent? There's, in my opinion, 3 types of bridge: the closed bridge, the open bridge, and the rail bridge. We're gonna start with the closed bridge. Now if you practice this, it's really gonna help you to go from a 2 to a 3. In this episode today, we're gonna cover how to go from a 3 to a 4. Let's get into it. The more you're gonna do it, see, as you can see, I touch sometimes a little bit of it. And 8, right? So to technically have 8 zones for 10 balls, so you have a little bit of room to spare. I really hope this was useful, and I cannot wait to see you for another video. Later, everybody.
All right, welcome back here to Orlando, Florida, continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Jake Waymire out of Tennessee, currently at the table. He will have the break. Second rack of the 8-ball set. And a dry break there for Mr. Waymire. That'll bring former U.S. Amateur Champion Jason Richko to the table. Jason winning this event in 2007.
Yeah, we saw this table kind of open up more balls going on the break, but 8-ball's still been a little stingy.
Jason is out of Trinity, Florida, just down the road a bit, Tampa Bay area.
And I think desperately looking to take solids here. It doesn't want to disrupt balls, but you don't want to take on a missable ball as well. It looks to me the 7 would go. Cut in off the pink 4. Now, with the 6 covering up that 12 up the table, and of course these stripes kind of congested over the 2 and 4, you got to believe Jake is going to take on the solids as well. Knock in the 2-4. You don't want to hit it with a ton of speed, but it looks like the cue ball has to go into the rail and into the 7, so you don't want the 2 to get tangled up, but you don't want the 7 to get in a funny spot either. Maybe thinking of bumping the 7 up maybe a foot away or so. Okay, he could get into the 10, so that's going to help, but maybe cut him off on the next shot. Maybe a rare safety coming here early in the rack. Not sure he has anything to really shoot at. Very difficult 3-ball, but I think I would rather shoot the 7 maybe and drop the cue ball down below the 2. Although the 3's not bad, especially playing 8-ball, you got to consider your opponent has a very difficult layout, so may go after this 3. Got a little thick. The cue ball's roaming near the 13.
See Jason sporting the Stroker shirt there. Long time home of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Of course, his homeroom over there in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, from a few of them from that room here in the event. Nice shot there. I think he expected a little bump on the 3. Didn't get it. And now in a difficult spot. Not really sure what he could pocket here. Looking at the 15, does it really go though? Well, that'll do.
Guess so.
Hey, he's got a really difficult out here. He's got a probably 11's pretty thin, and again, the cue ball's going to have a lot of speed on thin ones. He might take on the 10, shoot the 14, drop behind the 13, and kind of go from there. The 12's not easy either, so.
That'll bring Jake Waymire back to the table. Again, Jake is out of Arlington, Tennessee, part of the greater Memphis area.
Yeah, surveying the table, looking at that 6-3 combination. Like to get on that as quick as possible. Would probably be the one to start. I try to come one rail down, trying to hit a gap on the 6-3, knowing I have the 5 just in case, maybe the 7 or and 2 also. He's trying to get over here behind this 6-3. It's going to be close if he can get at it. Now, the good thing is I think he can cheat the pocket using the side rail a little bit to pocket this 3-ball. As long as he doesn't put too much speed, I think the table will accept it. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Maybe the 12 was in the way. So he's going to shoot the 7 and probably get right back on that combination. like he's kind of queuing up here. Like I said, don't want to hit this with a lot of speed. He cut it nicely, though. And did he get position back on the 6? That would be pretty key to making this out, or let's say making it easier. All right, what's he do on this 5? Jake has the stroke to come past the 14 with a little draw, or else he could just roll across, trying to get to the rail, following the cue ball behind the 12. Looks pretty good. Doesn't want to get elevated, but a little awkward cueing. And now speed control off the 2 to get for the 8 in the side, most likely, anyways.
Can see he inadvertently caught a piece of that ball and rolled it back an inch or so. Now shooting on the 8 ball.
Yeah, cue ball fouls only. Is it going to get there?
Not quite.
Yeah, you could tell he was a little worried about the cue ball, maybe scratching. Surprised he didn't go ahead and put a draw stroke on that, shooting in with a little more speed. He's got a big pocket in the side with the 14. Now he's going to shoot this down the rail, trying to draw back. Missable ball. Now 8 in the side, he can kick 2 rails at this, or 1 rail. The 2 rail is where the new felt, very hard to judge. Takes a lot of spin. He's going to go between the 12 and 8 most likely. Well, he hit it nice and soft. What a nice shot.
Beautiful. Jake Waymire takes a 2-0 lead in this race to 7. As we prepare our next rack, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors. All right, we're back here in Orlando, Florida, continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship Open Division. Jake Waymire leading 2-0 in this race to 7. He has the break once again. A lot of ball movement there, but nothing drops.
Yeah, playing that second ball break, and these have gotten nasty on the left side rail. Funny ones on the right side rail also. Probably the stripes are the ones to get at. Looks like the 5's pinned on that cushion near the 13, so the solid's very difficult. It's been this first shot a little bit for Jason that has gotten him a little out of line. Now another funny one just on the second ball. He's trying to attack with. Caught the 6 there. He wanted to get on the 9. Now maybe a cut shot on the 11. He's going to disturb some balls maybe. And again, have a lot of speed on the cue ball. And that's why, unless by design, you try to stay away from thin shots early in the rack playing 8-ball. You can reposition those balls that you originally liked so much after the break, and now Jason's got to really kind of pull on the reins here and say, hey, it's not a runnable table. Or I hate to say not one, but very difficult. So he's going to play a safety behind the 8. I don't know if he can reach it, but at first glance, looks like Jake can do a lot to just bump that 5 a little bit. Leave the cue ball kind of over it, open the 5 up. Because I think it's the 12 ball that's near the 5, and you can make it to where the 5 does play, but the 12 doesn't. Smart shot. Most likely a lengthy game here. Game number 3.
Jake Waymire back to the table. Jake, another U.S. Amateur Championship veteran. Both these guys having played in this event previously.
Had a few players from that area, Arlington, Tennessee, which is just a suburb there of Memphis.
Yeah, we had one on the women's division yesterday, right? Sarah Olson, is that?
Yeah, it sounded like they played out of High Pockets. They're in the
Big
Memphis
pool
area.
room there in Memphis, yeah.
Yeah, been there a long, long time. Went there, I think, when I was 18. Won't tell you how long ago that was, but just trust me.
You know, it's a good pool room and it's been around that long, right?
Yeah, great owners now. I mean, just really, really fun people and do a lot for pool. Interesting that he would open that up there, the 12, just because he's got a nasty 13 covered up by a bunch of solids. And now I kind of feel like Jake has a little more free reign, even though there's a lot of stripes available, but you got to have them all to win a game of 8-ball. Wow, nice shot. So he likes his chances of maybe getting out here. He takes that one on.
A lot of folks tuning in on Facebook and our YouTube channel, but also some folks tuning in on Billiards TV, our newest partner, helping us bring you this coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship from Orlando, Florida. Our first year here at the Wyndham Resort, Orlando.
Yeah, I didn't realize a very good player from back in the DFW area, Cameron Cummings, is here. Watch out for that kid. Really talented. Probably now 19 years old, maybe. Whole family plays APA and a lot of pool. Brother plays well. His dad plays well. Didn't notice him, but he's out on one of the outer tables at the moment. He's a contender here, even at 19.
Our defending champ in the open division, Jacob Watson, also out of Texas. He's still on the undefeated side of the bracket. We're just taking a look at CompuSport. Again, you can follow all the action here at the U.S. Amateur Championship by downloading the CompuSport app.
Tell you, if I'm Jason, I'd take a mean hard look at this 15 because that's the real secure way to maybe open that 12 ball up. Looks like he's going to play a safety.
Got a full day of coverage for you folks here from Orlando, Florida, all brought to you by our friends at pooldog.com. They are a presenting sponsor of all of our streaming coverage this week. Appreciate all their support. You can go to their website, pooldog.com, and order your free 2023 catalog ahead of the Christmas shopping season.
Yeah, I think Jake hit that a little harder than he wanted. He wanted to get on the 2 to where he could play it off the 6, I think. That would open up all the balls. This one's okay, but is the 6 really going to get opened? You don't want to open up the 4 without getting the 6 opened as well, and he did. Very nice. Played real smart so far. That's why I was thinking maybe Jason takes a chance on that 15 in the last inning. Try and open that 12 ball himself. Thought he'd go ahead and knock in the 4 here, getting an angle on the 6 to come around for the 2 in that same side pocket as the 6. That'll do as well.
In the corner for Mr. Waymire.
Yeah, and he's really been on point with the cue ball. Speed's been really ideal on most shots. It's like he can hold this, just pinch it a little bit. Is he going forward now? Okay, just rolling. Easy. Nice and easy. Looks like the 8 passes the 9 in the corner. May pass the 13 in the side as well.
Jake now shooting on the 8 ball here. No problem for Mr. Waymire, and he is off and running early on in this match, now leading 3 games to none in the 8 ball set. And he will once again have the break. Again, we'll play 5 games of 8-ball before we switch to the 9-ball set. And while we've got a moment, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, listen, I know that you don't play pool, but my league team is looking for someone tonight who's never played, so you're coming with. Great, I'll see you there. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, meet you.
Welcome back. I can't believe it. You did it. We're going to Vegas. Vegas, baby. Oh my.
All right, we're back at it here in Orlando, Florida. Jake Waymire leading 3-0. Has the break once again.
Yeah, changing sides on the break.
Still, well, there you go. 15 falls in the corner.
It's a 14 goes. Maybe his only shot, but that would open up things for a possible run out. It is difficult with the 4 hanging and the 9 there and 12, so a lot of work, but now Jason with a prime opportunity. These balls got opened up a little more there, and solids are definitely, the easiest between the two, and that's what he's got here in this rack, trailing 3-0. Some work out there. Maybe the most work is getting on the 8 later on, but watch out, cue ball. Roams behind the 10 could be a problem. Reason why he doesn't want to take the 7 away. That's the one that may lead to the 8 a little easier. I'm guessing he's going to ease this, but if he decides to slide over, he's just got to pay attention to where the 3's going. When it does make the 4, he's going to draw over for the 6. Yeah, you see that 3 ball? Got in a nasty spot because of that speed on the cue ball a little bit, so. Now he's going to have to work through this and not only get on a tough ball on the 3, but going to have to still get on that 8 we discussed earlier. So a lot still going on here in rack number 4, and former champions trying to get on the board. Oh, nice shot. I didn't realize it was available to draw back, and that's going to open the door for Jason. Here he's got to spin forward with a little right spin. He needs to stay off the rail with the cue ball. That might be a little much. This is going to go up a bit. Doesn't want to cue over the 13. He's okay there. So where do you go for position? You have an angle. The route is there. Looks like he's going to come around for the 8 in the right middle pocket. Speed is crucial along with the line on the cue ball. If under hits it, could have a cut or a bank, but if he overhits it, could be problems. Looks like he may bump the 8. Okay, it does go by the 11 in the corner, I believe, anyways. If it doesn't, he's got issues. Gonna have to take on cut in the side, it looks like. Now, would you consider maybe playing this off the 11 in the side? I think that's a possibility. The good thing for Jason, if he misses this cue ball, may end up on the bottom rail. No, he decided to play it off the 11, so.
A lot of room to maneuver now for Mr. Waymire.
And all kinds of ways. Also with a 3-0 lead. Got to look at the 9. Seems like a shot he should be pretty comfortable with. Now he knows as well as we do that where the 8's at, he doesn't have to take on any shot he doesn't like. A lot of safeties out there. This one pretty routine. Looks like he's going to play the angle to come across off the 10 to the 12. Could shoot the 12 now. I kind of like that myself. Reason being, you come across, you could get kind of straight on the 12 near the rail. Thought he might shoot the 12 and just roll up for the 13 or 14. Yeah, I like this. Keep it real simple. Try not to contact the 8 going by. Now again, he's a very skilled player. Like all these players here at the U.S. Amateurs. So he doesn't have to take on that cut on the 12. He can shoot the 10 and draw back a little bit. He may have overdrawn this a little. Be a bit of an awkward stretch for the lefty. Deal with many lefties in the family or anything?
No
Jason?
lefties.
Them lefties seem to be amazing when it comes to sports. Something different.
No sweet swinging lefties, unfortunately.
We got a few of those at our household.
Oh, a few lefties, huh?
Oh, yeah, I'm one of the only righties, really.
Interesting.
A couple of them use both hands pretty well, them kids. Speaking of pretty well, it's been real solid here so far for Jake.
It has. Jake Waymire pockets that 8-ball and extends his lead here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. As we await the next rack, we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship in Orlando, Florida. Jake Waymire with a 4-0 lead. This will be the final game of the 8-ball set. The only thing that hasn't necessarily been working for him great is the break. See if he's back to the other side now. See if that makes any difference. Get some balls moving there. One down.
Yeah, and he's got a shot on a stripe. He made one stripe on the break. Really got a couple shots on the stripe, but 10 the most likely one, and it takes care of a little bit of a problem with the 10 as well. Love to be able to level out here and go forward with the cue ball, even if you're going into the 6 and 2, as long as you feel like you're going to come away with a shot. Reason being is drawing over doesn't do a whole lot. You may open up the 8-ball a little more here with a high ball on the 10. And really just to get the run started a little more simply, I think. Yeah, I like that. Like I said, opened up that 8, which could have been a problem. And now set up in a nice position to clear this table and maybe take a 5-0 lead. Should probably get on the 9 now. Okay, he'll draw back off the 14. Probably gets to the 15 next. Then comes one row out for the 13, is it? Here, don't overthink it too much. Very difficult to get on the 13 properly to get on the 15. So I like shooting the 14. Then drawing back for the 15. And then coming one row out for the 13, most likely anyways. We'll see. Oh, it's surprising. Now he's got to really work the cue ball. Makes more of a missable ball. He's done everything he's needed to do so far in this match, but took a little more on there. Well, what a touch he's displayed as well for a big man. And here you get involved with maybe drawing the cue ball a little too much at times and missing. So just know an inch or two is plenty. He's feeling good. He rocketed that 14 into the corner. Should be feeling good. Now an 8 ball. Very doable to take a 5-0 lead.
Wow. All Jake Waymire thus far in this match, folks. 5-0 lead in this race to 7. We're going to switch over to the 9-ball set. While we do that, we'll take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to Orlando, Florida for continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Jake Waymire, who put on a clinic in the 8-ball portion of the set, leads 5-0. Has the break in the 9-ball set, and we'll see if he can keep the momentum going, Jeremy.
Well, he's going to try. Jason probably okay with switching of the games to kind of break things up. See if he can get something going. Playing a little 9 rocket.
Nothing down on the break there. Brings Jason Richko back to the table.
They're going to scratch. They're on a nice 1 ball. Now he can, looks like he can probably shoot the 2 and open up the 4-9 and have the 3 kind of laying there in the side. Doesn't look very difficult for a man who's shown us his skills on the 8-ball side of things. Just want to shoot the 2 in this corner, go the rail, and bump the 9 a little bit, coming off the back side of it. Again, with the 3 near, I think you're supposed to take a chance opening these balls. Some may go right into the 9. I kind of like going to the rail and then just bumping the 9 after contacting the rail with the cue ball. Really no worries besides this first shot. Don't need a lot of speed. I think he came away with a shot. He did. It's barely. Doesn't seem too upset about things, so. Looks real natural to go up the table to the top rail and back down for the 4. 5's over the side, 6, 7 up table. So I think just getting position here will open things up and maybe get to the hill quickly. And you can see a pretty big skill set here. Jake Waymire. Of course, Arlington, don't know much about Arlington, but it being a suburb of Memphis.
We'll call it Memphis, yeah.
Yeah, knowing that pool room, big pool town, always has been. Looks like he goes around the 9 pretty easily here, a couple rails. Over towards that side pocket where the cue ball's at now. And sometimes it's not just the situation that makes you walk around. That's just what you've been doing the entire event, no matter the situation. So just sticking.
Stay in rhythms.
Yeah. Sticking to the process.
Yeah. Maybe some superstition.
Yeah.
Pool players aren't superstitious, are they?
Oh, just the most in the world, really.
All about the routine. Or the process, as you called it. Boy, Jake Waymire looks good in this match today. 3 balls away from moving on to the hill.
Yeah, just stay away from anything extreme on the 8. You don't need a ton of angle, so you don't want to make a missable ball. Really good. You just pull it out pretty smoothly here for the 9 and right to Hill Street quickly.
Waymire pockets the 9 and is now 1 rack away from moving on in this tournament. While I've got a moment, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors. And we are back here in Orlando, Florida. Continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Jake Waymire at the table. Looking to put this match away. He leads 6-0. Needs just one more big rack. He has the break.
Yeah, smash there on the rack, making 2 on the break. A little awkward cueing, but does have a nice shot on the 1. And pretty natural to pull the cue ball over to the rail and back over for the 2. If he gets this 1 down, of course, the 2 to the 3 is pretty demanding, so won't get ahead of ourselves and certainly don't want to jinx any players. One that's up 6-0 can afford a jinx or 2, though.
Trying to slow him down a little bit. Meanwhile, Jason Richko just looking on.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about with 8-ball. You know, when you start with 8-ball, of course, you figure to get more time at the table, but sometimes the balls can really, you know, weigh against you, and that's what we saw. Jason tried to deal with it. Didn't have any luck, but then his opponent was on point. So again, it gets this 1 down, gets across. We may not see any more Jason in this 2023 U.S. Amateurs. Didn't expect that miss.
Uphill climb for Mr. Richko. 1 ball at a time, 1 rack at a time. Can't get it all back at once.
Looks like he's going to play the safety. Killing the cue ball behind the 9 and 6, bringing the 1 down. Might see a jump cue here. Mr. Waymire. Don't know if he's going for the make here, really. Maybe just knock the one back down table.
He fails to contact the one ball, which will give ball in hand to Jason Richko. See if that can help kickstart things for Jason.
Well, he's got a long ways to go, but ball in hand seems like the best way to shake things off. Get something started. Nice shot there, bringing the cue ball back for the 3. I think the 5 has definitely the side pocket on the bottom of your screen right now, but I'm not sure if the corner is available, really. Looks like he's hitting down on the ball, so coming back for the side, maybe 2 cushions.
Oh, miscue.
Just one of them days so far for Jason. Unfortunate.
Chance for Jake Waymire now to finish out the shutout here. He can run these last 3 balls.
Yeah, he's just got to hold his cue ball there for the 8 in the side. Natural position on the 9. Not much worries. So it won't be Jason's year, but I know we'll have him back here at this U.S. Amateurs.
Jake Waymire closes it out with a 7-0 victory, folks. Impressive showing there. All right, so once again, congratulations to Jake Waymire. He is moving on here in the Open Division. Jason Richko now eliminated from this year's U.S. Amateur Championship. Folks, we've got several more matches coming at you today here. Make sure you come back and join us. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you.